Alrighty, folks, we're 6-0 in our last 6 NFL tier package picks on my premium site. And if you want to get a pick here today on every single game on the Major League Baseball slate, both the side and the total, that is going to be available to all of my Gold Club members on my premium site. It's actually available to you now. I've got a written quick pick recap for Gold Club members exclusively. There are a couple of games where I didn't provide a pick, so you can get all of them as a Gold Club member. And I'll tell you what, if you sign up for that full access, all-inclusive Gold Club package, you're going to get access to that membership every single day. You're going to get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Gold Club exclusive video each and every day during that time frame, absolutely free. It's included with your membership. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into some, free content here. Got ourselves a pretty good slate. Yankees, Cubs, 2:20 Eastern first pitch. The Yankees are minus $140, total 7. Luis Heel for New York, Jordan Wicks for Chicago. Now, the lefty Wicks, he does come into today's contest with a 1.36 whip. And he's going to have to be better than that. He's going to have to be nearly perfect because his offense rarely gets on base. Chicago is currently the lowest hit-producing team at home in the National League. And they're going to end up facing a 12-win Luis Heel, who's got an ERA in the threes himself, along with 144 punch-outs. But even if Heel ends up struggling here today, he is backed by the highest run-scoring team on the road in the league. Aaron Judge leads the majors in homers, RBI, and OPS. Meanwhile, Chisholm and Soto both have OPS averages in the thousands, respectively. Now, total-wise, the Cubs are 10-7 of the under in their interleague home games. As a matter of fact, out of 40 total contests against the American League, the under cashed in 60% of those outings for the Cubs. I believe that's 40 total contests against the American League at home. I think that's what the stat is. But regardless, plenty of unders in their interleague games. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Cubs, 10-7 of the under in their interleague home games, 60% of the to the under in all of their contests against the American League. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading the notes a little bit weird, but think under, think Yankees. Give me the Yankees minus 140, under 7. All right, next game, Rockies, Brewers, 6:10 Eastern first pitch. Milwaukee's minus 225, total 7.5. Frankie Montas for the Brewers, Ryan Feltner for Colorado. And through 132 innings of work this year, the righty Feltner has recorded only one win. That's right, he's just 1-10 with an ERA in the 5s. Now, he's also backed by one of the worst hitting lineups in baseball. These guys are fanning over 10.4 times a game on the road this year. The Rockies also have fewer road hits a game than any other club in the National League. And they're going to face Frankie Montas, who's, looked pretty good in a handful of appearances with Milwaukee. The righty's currently got an ERA in the 3s, along with a 1.19 whip. Of course, at the plate, the Brewers are a top 5 run-scoring team. William Contreras, he's the club leader in hits. Willie Adames has the 3rd most RBI in the bigs. Give me the Brewers minus 1.5, over 7.5 runs. Next game, Nationals, Pirates, 6:40 p.m. East. Pittsburgh's minus $135, totals 8.5. Luis Ortiz for the Pirates, DJ Hers for the Nats. And as bad as Hers is, his record is, it ain't for a lack of strikeouts. The lefties punched out 88 batters in just 70-plus innings. Of course, as a team, the Nationals saw unders in their last 4 straight DJ Hers starts. Of course, more recently, the Nats saw 3 out of their last 4 road games stay under the total themselves. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, starting pitcher Luis Ortiz, well, he's been grossly overlooked for the Pirates. All he's done is have a 3.19 ERA along with a stingy 1.10 WHIP. A lot of shows you listen in to. Not talking about Luis Ortiz much, but he's been really good, really serviceable. Now, at the plate, both squads with their fair share of struggles. Both clubs are in the bottom 10 in runs per game on average. And going back to Ortiz, out of his 11 starts this year, the under cashed in all of those ball games except for 2. Of course, if you want to, see whether I'm making a play on the money line or run line in this one, this game is being featured as my extra daily pick on my premium page. But as far as making a free play is concerned, give me the under 8.5. Next game, Rays, Orioles, 7:05 East. Baltimore's $1.40, totals 8.5. Dean Kramer for Baltimore, Shane Boss for Tampa Bay. And as solid as Boss has been, well, he's got just 2 wins through 49 innings of work, and a lot of that has to do with poor plate appearances. The Rays are a bottom 3 run-scoring team in the league, and they have to face a Baltimore squad who's had little problems at the plate, especially against Tampa Bay pitching. The O's average 11.3 hits a game in their last 10 head-to-head gatherings with Tampa. And as far as this year is concerned, the O's are a top 3 run-scoring team. Gunnar Henderson leads the organization in hits. Anthony Santander's got the 3rd most homers in the majors. When it comes to the total, the Orioles' last 4 straight at Camden Yards did get over the total. They're also 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay saw 7 out of their last 10 get over the total themselves. Give me Baltimore minus $1.40, over 8.5. Next game, White Sox, Red Sox, 7:10 Eastern start. Boston's minus 275, totals 8.5. Nick Pivetta for the Bo Sox, Davis Martin for Chicago. Now, I tell you, Martin's still winless on the season. Has a whip of 1.39. Of course, at the plate, the Chi Sox are the lowest run-scoring team in the league. It's an historically bad baseball club, making history for how bad they are. And they're going to face Nick Pivetta here today, who's got 114 strikeouts and a 1.14 whip. Of course, at the plate, the Bo Sox have had little problems getting base runners. They're in the top 5 in hits per contest. Rafi Devers has the most RBI in the clubhouse. Jarren Duran with the most hits. When it comes to the injury list, Hamilton's banged up for the Bo Sox. Vargas questionable for the White Sox. When it comes to the total, Chicago went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Boston saw 3 out of their last 4 at Fenway Park stay under the line. Give me Boston minus 1.5. Under 8.5. Next game, Reds, Mets, 7:10 East. New York's minus $1.75, total 7.5. Sean Manaea for the Mets, Fernando Cruz for Cincinnati. Now, Cruz is 3-8 with an ERA of 4.99. Of course, at the plate, since he's currently a bottom 5 hit-producing team. And they're facing an 11-win Sean Manaea, who's got 154 strikeouts and a 1.12 whip. Of course, at the dish, the Mets are a top 5 run-producing team in the National League. Francisco Lindor leads the team in RBI and hits. Pete Alonso's got the most home runs. When it comes to the total, 2 out of the Mets' last 3 in Flushing, Queens did get over the total. Meanwhile, Cincy went 60% to the over in their last 10. Give me the Mets minus 175, over 7.5. Next matchup, Phillies, Marlins, 7:10 East. Philadelphia's 225 away from home, total 7.5. Zach Wheeler for the Titans, Edward Cabrera for Miami. Now, Cabrera's just 3-6 with an ERA of 5.33. And even if he does end up throwing well here today, there's a good chance he'll get little to no run support. The Marlins are currently dead last in the National League in runs per game. And they have to face a 13-win Zach Wheeler who's got 183 strikeouts and a sub-1 whip. Of course, at the plate, the Phils are doing a nice job getting base runners on the road. They're in the top 5 in the National League in hits per game while traveling. Kyle Schwarber leads the clubhouse in homers and RBI. Alec Boehm's got the most hits. He's actually tied with Schwarber for the most runs batted in. I believe they both have 89. And I'll tell you what, out of 39 ball games against divisional opponents, the Phils currently have a .615 win percentage in those contests, doing a great job against those NL East foes. Now, injury-wise, Austin Hayes is banged up for the Phils. Alec Boehm day-to-day with a hand. Meanwhile, for Miami, Jesus Sanchez is questionable with a back. When it comes to the total, the Marlins are 14-6 of the over against the NL East at Lone Depot Park. They also allowed 5.1 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Philadelphia, obviously struggling with this Philly lineup, as most teams do. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Give me the Phillies -1.5, over 7.5. All right, next game, Blue Jays, Braves, 720 East. Atlanta's -170, totals 8. Max Fried for the Braves, Kevin Gausman for Toronto. And even though Gausman's got a bunch of wins, he's also got double-digit losses and an ERA in the 4s. Of course, at the plate, he's currently backed by a bottom 10 hit-producing lineup. And they're going to square up against lefty Max Fried on the hill for Atlanta. Now, Fried currently has an ERA in the 3s, and he does not have a losing record. And out of 17 home games against the American League, the Braves have posted a record of 13-4. Now, injury-wise, Whit Merrifield's questionable for Atlanta. Addison Barger day-to-day for Toronto. When it comes to the total, 5 out of the Blue Jays' last 7 road games did stay under the line. Meanwhile, Atlanta went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Braves -170, under 8. Next matchup, Angels, Rangers, 805 East. Texas is -150 in this divisional matchup, totals 9. Gerson Garabito for the Rangers, Sam Ottagari for the Angels. And, you know, both starters here with only 22 innings of work between the both of them. And in those very short sample sizes, both have actually looked pretty good. Having said that, though, I do like the Angels in a run line spot here. They've got a winning record against the run line on the road this year. And equally as important, well, they covered in a bunch of divisional games. They're currently 24-15 against the number against the AL West. That's good for 62% in that particular category. Meanwhile, for the Rangers on the other side, well, you know, quite the opposite. They're covering in just 40% of their divisional home games. Of course, at the plate, the Rangers have definitely had a tough time producing runs at Globe Life Field. They're a bottom 10 run-scoring team in their own building. Now, total-wise, the Rangers have gone 14-6 the under in their divisional home games. Meanwhile, 4 out of the Angels' last 5 on the road stayed under the line themselves. Give me the Angels +1.5, under 9. All right, next game, Diamondbacks, Astros, 8:10 Eastern start time. Houston's -175, totals 8. Framber Valdez for the Astros, Brandon Pfaadt for Arizona. And if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line, run line, or total in this one, this game is being featured as my board member tier package pick. And of course, in that package, you get access to that board member video, and you actually get a video breakdown of that game. All right, next matchup, Twins, Royals, 8:10 East. KC's $1.35, total 7.5. Cole Reagans for the Royals, Zebby Matthews for Minnesota. And, of course, both lineups doing some real good things at the plate. And when it comes to the number, 3 out of the Twins' last 4 on the road did get over the total. They also went 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, 5 out of KC's last 8 Cole Reagan starts got over the line themselves. Give me the over, 7.5. Next game, little interleague play here. Mariners, Cardinals, 8:15 East. Now both teams are minus a $110, total 7.5. Eric Fetty for St. Louis, Bryce Miller for Seattle. And the 10-win Miller, he's got 147 strikeouts and a 1.00 whip. Of course, this Seattle pitching staff, they've been pretty impossible to hit against. They allow fewer runs per contest than any other staff in the league. Of course, on offense, the Mariners are quite possibly the worst hitting team in the majors. They strike out more than any other franchise. They also average the fewest amount of hits per game. They're facing a St. Louis club who's in the bottom 5 in the National League in runs per contest themselves. Give me the under 7.5. Next ball game, Tigers Athletics, 9:40 p.m. East. Detroit's a $160 on the road, total 7. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, Mitch Spence for Oakland. When it comes to cashing in on the run line, the A's have definitely been solid over the past couple of weeks. They're 7-3 against the number in their last 10. They also have a winning record against the run line in all of their contests at the Coliseum. They're facing a Detroit squad who lost 4 out of their last 7 themselves, and they've definitely struggled at the plate this year. They're averaging just 7.8 hits a game, and out of their last 10 gatherings with Oakland, they were held to under 3.1 runs per contest. Now, 3 out of the Tigers' last 4 road games did stay under the line. They're also 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Give me Oakland plus 1.5, under 7. Next game, Giants, Padres, 9:40 Eastern start time. San Diego's minus 205, totals 8. Michael King for the Pods, Mason Black for San Francisco. And as bad as Black's numbers are, he is facing a Padres club who's definitely had their issues against the run line. They failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10 ball games. And no real surprise here, the Pods have a losing record against the number in their divisional home games. Of course, on the mound, Michael King's gotten little run support over his past handful of starts. The Pods are averaging under 2.6 runs a game in his last 4 outings. Give it the Giants plus 1.5, under 8. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Should be a pretty good series here this weekend. This year. Should be a good series this weekend. I'm talking about the Guardians at the Dodgers, 10:10 Eastern first pitch. The LA Dodgers are minus 155, totals 9. Landon Knack for the Dodgers, Matthew Boyd for Cleveland. And the lefty Boyd's got a 2.38 ERA along with a .84 whip. And I'll tell you, these Guardians pitchers have been pretty excellent away from Progressive Field. They're allowing fewer runs a game away from home than any other staff besides one. And of course, when it comes to cashing in on the run line, the Guardians covered in 6 out of their last 10. And they're facing a Dodger pitching staff who's actually been pretty putrid over the past week or so. They've allowed 47 total runs in their last 6 ball games. Of course, as a team, the Pods took the loss in 3 out of Knack's last 4 starts. Now, total-wise, oddly enough, LA went 5-3 to the under in their last 8 Landon Knack starts. Meanwhile, Cleveland went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. Give me the Guardians plus 1.5, under 9. And with that, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the Yankees minus 140, under 7. Brewers minus 1.5, over 7.5 runs. Give me the under 8.5 in the Nationals-Pirates game. Orioles minus 140, over 8.5. Red Sox minus 1.5, under 8.5. New York Mets minus 175, over 7.5. Phillies minus 1.5, over 7.5. Atlanta Braves minus 170, under 8. Angels plus 1.5, under 9. I have no free pick available for you in the Diamondbacks-Astros game. Give me the over 7.5 in the Twins-Royals matchup. I like the under 7.5 in the Mariners-Cardinals game. Oakland plus 1.5, under 7. San Francisco plus 1.5, under 8. And give me the Guardians plus 1.5, under 9 runs. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Gold Club package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection line, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my exclusive Gold Club video, absolutely free. It's included with your membership. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.